Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the King of Fighters 14, PS5. So the game is only released on PS4, so there is no official upgrade for PS5, but it does really work well on PS5. So therefore, I also got the PC versions of KOF 14 and 15. But yeah, I still play these on the PlayStation. Just you know, I like that. So it's a bit easier to stream as well. So yeah. Anyway, let's go into the verses. Single single player. Right. Yeah, lots of cool fighters. KOF 15 has more, but yeah, I really already like this roster a lot. Some characters are a bit abstract in the series, but that's what fighting games mostly have. But I really like the aesthetics of this game because each fighter is different, not like Dead or Alive that they all look the same. Each with their own personality traits and things, which I really like. So yeah, I'm going with. I like him from the male characters. So let's start off. Against. Yeah, she's pretty tricky against mature. Some really cool levels in this game. Even a racetrack. Let's see, can we boost up the sound a little bit? No, unfortunately. We have to go back to the menu for that. Or do you guys think it's fine this way? I do really love the aesthetics of this game. I even prefer it to Street Fighter 6. She got me. These characters are really cool. Oops. It has some cool super moves, you know, but it's not anything overdone or something like they're doing now with Street Fighter 6. I think that's a bit too much what they did, the special effects. I like it a bit more grounded in a sense. Oh, we got her. Nice. I don't really learn movesets per se. I always learn the character as I go, you know, on the fly. I simply like that. I do play a lot of practice mode in between. But that means mostly computer, you know, without any rounds, you know. Sometimes it's cool to make montages about that or screenshots. Alright. She won 2 times already. Oh, nice. I also like the field of view of this game. It's you know, wide shots, which I don't like in Tekken 8, for example, or that you're a bit too close to each other as characters. That was different in Tekken 7 and the games before. So I think personally, for what I can recall, nice. Funny. So we did it. Next main menu. Let's boost up the volume a little bit. Sound. Right. Single. Um, against. Let's see. She's cool. Yeah, so also a thing I'd like to talk about. This is basically my reaction to a streamer that I really like, Mugen Lord. He's also an artist, and yeah, he was basically talking about the fact that you know that the hype of games that he got from some games that when the game was released that you know the hype was actually gone in a sense. You know that you are waiting for a game so long. You know you are basically hyped up for that game that you can't wait to be released. But when the game is finally released, then it suddenly isn't really what you expected, or that it suddenly you know the hype is gone in a sense. You know that you're playing it and it doesn't really feel you know that epic anymore or something. You know, it's a bit hard to explain, but I think that you know what I mean to say. And I get his standpoint in that, you know, but at the same time, um, if I'm talking about my own experience in the games that I was hyped for, I actually didn't experience that in that sense that I was so hyped that the game itself, when it was released, disappointed me. It never really happened that much. As a matter of fact, I was a huge fan of the classic, you know, Need for Speed era, for example, and I did was very disappointed in Need for Speed 4, which is better known as High Stakes, Need for Speed High Stakes. I think it was released in 1998 or 99, one of the two. It was the the fourth game in the Need for Speed series, and I really loved the first two games. You know, Need for Speed 2 and Need for Speed 3, the first Hot Pursuit game. Now that game was mind blowing for its time. Still one of the best arcade racing games I have ever played by far. You know, including the Project Gotham series on the Xbox. So those were really my racing games. And when Need for Speed 4 High Stakes came around, yeah, it didn't feel like Need for Speed really anymore. It wanted to be a bit more of a Gran Turismo game, and since then, the series didn't really, you know, you got me hooked again. You know, I did like Underground 2 and Most Wanted, but yeah, I never really got back to that same hype that I had before. So that is one of the few games that I did had, and also with some fighting games like Tekken 8 was really disappointing to me. The heat system is a total fail in my opinion, and I also don't really like how the fighters look, especially the characters. The female ones are a massive downgrade from how they looked from Tekken 7, a massive downgrade. And I will say that without any shame whatsoever. It is what it is, you know. It's such a failed game, Tekken 8. it's such a failed game. Um, Street Fighter 6, it still does look good, but it is nowhere near the level it was. Also, the aesthetics in the game doesn't really appeal to me. The level design is just not good. Career mode is very mediocre. And that's why I prefer the King of Fighter games. Because they do what they have to do, they look great, combat system never disappoints, Since the 2D era up to the 3D era, they always were great. So yeah. I mean, look at this. It's fantastic. And funny. Yeah, the Dead or Alive series are fun, but I never really considered them as actual fighting games because I really can't stand the counter attacks, in that game. It's a bit too much rock, paper, scissors, if it comes in that sense. I do like it, but the combat system in itself is, no. It could have been so much better, I think. Also a fan of Soul Calibur. I like the aesthetics of the game. The level design is fantastic. Same goes for characters themselves, and the lore that they're having. The KOF games also have great lore. Even though I'm not really familiar with it as yet, but it's still really cool from what I know. But what I am disappointed in is the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, because the input system and so most games included are just not good, I think, especially on the PS5. The online is a disaster. They also did not include certain versions of the Mortal Kombat games, which I think is also a problem. And I mean, people do argue about the online game, that some say that all the games didn't have that at all. And what my answer to that is, listen, the reason why that was is because back in the day we didn't have the internet. If it was, then we could have played online. The same thing with Street Fighter. And also we were looking forward as the fans, the community, to from the people that I have learned, got to know, from certain YouTubers that I like, to play the game, with online from all sorts of parts of the world, And now we can do that, and also there's no crossplay. It's not even their concern anymore, for what I understand. So it's ridiculous. It's a really, really bad collection, and also the physical releases, how they mark the games, you know, on the plastic with a marker that is just it's just hideous, you know. I can't explain it or how terrible it is, and also no protection in the when they when you receive the box, you know. They're just throwing the games in there like it's nothing. It's no, that's just not a way how to treat, you know, the fans and things like that. It's so ridiculous. Let's go for her. Now, we Mortal Kombat fans on PC, we have a lot of Mugen games, you know, and we don't really need the collection, but the thing was, of course, that it was the gaming preservation, you know, what's that we finally have a collection from the classic games, what we actually never really got, you know, and also, yeah, the you know the for people to have it physically, you know. Yeah, it's I don't have any words for it. What they have done with it, so it's just so bad. And I mean, if you play the game just for offline, then I suppose you can have great fun with it and things like that. But I mean, you still paid a lot of money, and everything should work properly. Now, of course, to say that also goes for other games as well, but I will say that most games, you know, or at least from what I know that I have myself, are still being updated pretty quickly with patches, you know. But with the Legacy Collection, it's still not good after all this time it was released. So there's that. I even kind of regretted that I bought it on PlayStation 5 and on Steam. So yeah, it's a nice level. Therefore, I only play somewhat older fighting games like these, King of Fighters, Tekken 7 is also a favorite. Street Fighter, the Championship Edition, Street Fighter 5. That is really cool game. She kind of has a fun fighting style. Nice try. Also, another thing that I find a problem in modern video fighting games is the auto combat system, like in Tekken 8 with the heat system, you know. It really ruins it for me, you know. And also many other classic fighters, because especially the audition that some fighters now have these weapons attached to them, like Anna, for example, with the bazooka on Tekken 8. That is just it is so ridiculous that I think by myself, whoever came up with that, because it totally breaks her fighting style, you know. It's ridiculous. So stupid. And it also looks stupid on Anna, you know. Such a gorgeous character and you're doing this. Now if they would made it some sort of option, then it would have been a different thing, but no. They had to ruin it in that way. Well, I'm better at the game than I thought. I mean, it's cool characters. Also, Granblue is also a really cool game. I do also like Guilty Gear Strive. Oops. Nice. Too bad. Well, we tried. Better luck next time. Well, guys, I'm going to leave it for now. Yeah, I want to thank you guys for joining in, and again, thank you for those who have subscribed to my channel, liked my videos, commented, you know, also in the chat and in the comments. So I hope you enjoyed the stream, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out, guys.